Run that up, Rico.
My answer to the question, are black men capable of effective leadership for the black community? No. This was a roundtable discussion among these 6 elite ex-football players during the George Floyd's protests, where racism and police brutality were being discussed across the country and across the world.
Did you read any of the about of the Black Lives Matter? Did you go on their website and read any of those things?
So
I say that just to say this, and I would love for you to play with this idea for as long as you guys want to. One of its initiatives is to break up the nuclear family in order for it to succeed at whatever it's trying to succeed at, which I'm not sure what that is.
I respect your opinion. I respect your thoughts. I respect the documentaries that you watch, the books that you've read. I respect the work that you've done, but we are spending so much time and wasting so much energy on ideology. Like, to me, the question is, why do we debate racism?
Do you believe that racism exists in America and has impacted black people probably since the Civil Rights Movement?
Jared Odrick, a biracial man who identifies as black, seems to be the only intellectually sound voice on the panel. But because he is a biracial man, the other black men on the panel seem to question his experience as a black man and are throwing out his viewpoint because they're focusing more on the man and not the message, when in fact his message is the only one that they should be listening to. I say this because with him being raised by a white woman and growing up with a different sense of responsibility to the community and a different way of questioning the motives of the dominant society, he's really the cheat code the black men need in this fight.
Part of the reason that we don't have that leadership is, in my opinion and perspective, when we look at our leaders during the Civil Rights Movement, you know what the example was set by the people who are against it? They killed them all. And how do we not, and yes, it's been ruled a suicide, but how do we not understand that somebody is trying to send us a message, as they always have?
Who?
The man.
But I guess that's what I'm saying. And that's why I want to get down to ideology, because if you don't outline the constructs of which you think, then the man will always be ever present and omnipotent. He will be everywhere and always stopping you from what you want to do. So that's why I'm trying to define the bounds so we can stop letting the concept of the man enter the constructs of our mind.
Yeah, I love all of that. Like, I'm gonna be honest, man. I like, you kind of lose me with some of that talk. I just want to have the conversation about, like, why did George Floyd die the way he died, right? Like, why? Like, go back to me, the start of this second wave of this civil rights movement.
There is no second wave of the civil rights movement, and that is because black men rely on everyone else to do the fighting. Then they sit back and critique. Yes, the dominant society killed black people by hanging and lynching them in public to send a message to other black people to stay in line, to stay in your place, and don't challenge the system. One thing we know for sure is that black men know this to be true. So in response to this message from the man, as he put it, black men hide behind black women to do the fighting for them. And they hide behind a movement of trying to get white society to stop being racist. That way they don't have to fight and the problem will be solved.
Trayvon Martin. And these are the conversations that we've been having week after week after week after week for years. Now we just have social media and we have footage to capture it. So for me, it's just like, I get all of that. And I think there's so much discussion around that. And that's why I want to expand it. But when you look at racism, systemic racism in America, like, that exists, and that's the discussion I want to have.
Sure. And me speaking specifically to the group that's leading the charge on solving that issue, I want to find out what they believe. And when I go read about what they believe, so I could support it or not support it, What it talks about is they're willing to break up the American nuclear family. That's something that you possess, Brandon. You've got a nuclear family. Is that important to you?
I don't know what the hell a nuclear family.
The Black Lives Matter organization has been taken over by white LGBTQ community because black people did what black people always do, sell out our community for $1. The movement was started by black women to shine a light on police shootings of black men. Today, not only is the organization taken over by white LGBTQ community, they have become the enemy to black people. What Jared is speaking on is the Black Lives Matter organization is attacking black families who have men in the home or the nuclear family. The point is to continue to keep the family unit broken, and the perpetual brokenness of black homes reflects in the community, the leadership, the amount of crime, depressed neighborhoods, and to keep the black community at the bottom. This is now the agenda of the Black Lives Matter organization. If you go to the website, it's right there in black and white, because they know we allow ourselves to be led without question. Or even if we do question, where's the leadership to fight? So far, they've raised $80 million on the killing of black men by police, but have done nothing for the black community. In fact, this money is going towards destroying the black community. By supporting this movement, we've become our own worst enemy.
I also asked you the question too, which I thought was interesting. I asked Jared the question about, and this was when we were on the phone. And I said, Jared, so you mean to tell me that there isn't any issues in the NFL? There's 32 owners. We have not one black owner. The league is made up of over 70% minorities, but in positions of power, there's how many?
There's 2 GMs and 4 head coaches.
So there's not an issue there. And you use the term, well, did an owner explicitly come out and say that, we're racist, right?
Yeah, it's that is a question. Did an owner ever say explicitly, yeah, we're not hiring black coaches? And I think the other point is you made a really good point that the NFL is 70% black.
Yeah.
Come on, bruh. So I wanted to hear that, and I wanted to hear that again in this context, and I especially want to hear from Fred, because I think he's had more experience around NFL organizations. But what I wanted to hear is, okay, well, if 70% of the NFL is black players, then what's a number that's going to satisfy the given black population of the amount of coaches that should be in the league? Is it 70% of the coaches? Mm-hmm. What is it? What's the number that's going to quell your anger about coaches?
A percentage that reflects society, to me.
Okay, so 70% society? Society is 13%.
Okay, society is...
So are you sure you want 13% or do you want 70%?
No, I don't need 70%.
But see, this is where I feel like it's divisive and like we get off track, but it's cool.
Pin a number down,
but here's the
devices.
thing. It's not literal. It's that the best man should get the job, but when you look at systemic racism, it's off of, they make decisions off of our race and our traits. So you mean to tell me that we don't have black position coaches that can be offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators for special teams?
I'll tell you,
you don't think that those coordinators that we have they're not qualified to be a head coach?
Never said that.
So why is it in 2002 the Rooney Rule was put in place to protect the minority and also the NFL, but nothing has changed?
If they were brave enough, these men could change everything they don't like about the NFL in a week. If they could see that collectively they have the power to do so. Without the 70% of players, there is no NFL. Why can't they see this? They sound intelligent, they seem intelligent, but I believe they're afraid of the invisible man and the invisible consequences. When they wouldn't hire Kaepernick back, all the players should have walked off and agreed that they wouldn't return until Kaepernick was rehired. This is a video of a group of Mexican construction workers. Something happened where some of them were sent home for whatever reason. But guess what? They were unsatisfied and all of them band together and they left. They left until the issue was resolved.
Everybody need to take notes on this and just know that it looks so much better when you sticking together.
Amigos, get about this motherfucker. Y'all got him fucked up. Look at them. They sent a couple of them home. They all packed their shit up and shut this motherfucker down. Nigga, who y'all think y'all playing with? Mexico, man, this is what black people need to be on, man. I swear to God, I love this shit. They are packing they shit up and shutting this motherfucker, huh? On my mama, all that shit. They are not bullshitting. They packed up. Yeah, I see, it's over. Them motherfuckers now packed up and dipped. They thought they was gonna play with these amigos, and they said, oh yeah, we rise together, homie. And they leaving. And they not bullshitting. Take this in, man. Look at this, man. They shut this big motherfucker down today, man. We all going home, man. The SAs, look, ain't no grinding, cutting, welding. This motherfucker dead ass quiet. The Mexicans shut this motherfucker down, nigga. Said, fuck you, bitch. And Billy, see, this is what I'm talking about, baby. I swear to God, they got me geeked up.
So when we talk about this situation, I think that you just have to take your knee off my neck and I just want to breathe. And then once I can breathe and I'm not in that position again, then we can start talking about all these other things. Yeah, talk to me about like how I can get off drugs. Talk to me about black on black crime. Talk to me about the flag. But right now I just need your knee off my neck.
The men in this room are passive and they sound weak as they sit in femininity and ask the oppressor to help them. When LeBron James attempted to boycott the games during the George Floyd protests last year, it was almost as if this was the moment black people were waiting for one strong black man to take a stand. After he did, sports commentators walked off air, Women's Basketball League walked out. Even the tennis player Naomi Osaka left the game, ready to take a stand, band together for change. The problem with the black community, though, is we have too many traitors within the community who work for the other side. So the boycott lasted just one day because traitors were sent in to talk LeBron down. Michael Jordan and Barack Obama. If you look at both their track records, they've both shown that they have no interest in helping black people. So a year has passed since this video, and nothing systemic or substantial has changed for black people. So we'll add another year of Jim Crow and police brutality, oppression, and racism, and pray that the next hashtag is not someone we know.
Run that up.